From the producers of Intervention comes a new series called Digital Addiction with new episodes Mondays on A&E. We have Coach Craig Perra here to talk all about it. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Rudy.
Let's talk, March 2020, everybody's lives changed. Everybody was almost forced to resort to working from home, using technology, using it more than, not such in a positive way, but also kind of seeing the dark ways that. Talk a little bit about, what we're going to see on this show and how March 2020 kind of changed the scope of everything.
Yeah, well, what we're going to see is a powerful look, in my case, the episode that I was in, two handsome, talented, gifted twin young men at their lowest rung, consumed by video games, consumed by pornography, and deep down inside, they hated themselves. And I think people are going to see themselves in these twins because it's so relatable. We're all struggling to find that happy path with technology.
Is there a checklist or something that people should measure as far as here is where, this is a habit that I enjoy or a hobby I enjoy and something that has gone too far?
Absolutely. I think the question that I think people should be asking, not am I addicted? Because by the time it gets there, there's a lot of pain. We should be asking ourselves daily, weekly, am I using technology in a healthy, constructive way? Do I feel good about myself? Am I engaged in my life? Am I meeting people in real life? And, how do I feel about myself? I think if you ask those questions and constantly be mindful of digital health, just like physical health, mental health and spiritual health, well, now digital health is more and more important than ever.
Well, you especially see too, I think now as the world has been opening up, people are going out to restaurants or going out to shows or hanging out with friends, but you're still addicted to those technologies.
Yeah, I think people, hopefully through watching the show and just their own journey, start creating rules for themselves, start saying to themselves, wait a minute, when I go out, I'm going to put my phone away. I'm going to digitally detox. It doesn't have to be a week-long detox. It doesn't even have to be a weekend detox. But when they're out with friends, that's a great opportunity to put that phone away, turn off those notifications, even get it off your body if you possibly can, and try to be present.
Addiction, as far as digital technology, always been there because obviously people of a certain age remember their parents on their landline talking for hours at a time. People who grew up in the 90s think of instant messenger being on there all the time. Video games, from the 80s and 90s where you were just there for hours at a time. I mean, is this just every time there's something new that people get addicted to it, or is this version more dangerous?
This version is incredibly more dangerous because we have billion-dollar companies in the race to the base of our brainstem, your brainstem, my brainstem. You've got people very, very sophisticated and very, very talented doing everything in their power to keep us on those devices longer. That needs to be checked. That's dangerous.
Is there something innate in people? I mean, because we can do this on digital, addiction, but it could also be as far as going to the gym too much, worrying about, what's going to happen in, from the past or the future, maybe excessive cleaning or excessive hoarding. Is there something that people have in them that just kind of gets that addiction kind of going at, 100 miles an hour?
Well, we have our reward center, and at a core basic level, there's pleasure and pain. When we experience pain, we want to escape from that pain with pleasure. And that crack pipe of dopamine that just pounds the brain day in and day out, people are escaping from that pain. They're sad, they're lonely, they're depressed, they're anxious, they're scared, they're confused in a world that they don't understand. And it's so easy to lose yourself in technology. Who doesn't love a good cat video? Who doesn't love that escape? But it's going too far for a lot of people, and a lot more now, more than ever. Those people are sinking lower and lower and lower, and they need help.
And they need help. Craig, thank you so much for your time today. Catch new episodes of Digital Addiction Mondays on A&E.